Good morning, everyone. Welcome into the Member 2 Sport and Wellness Center. My name is Jeff McIntyre for High Button Sports, bringing you an under-18 major matchup between the week's majors and the Sydney Mitsubishi Rush. I'll hand you off to the PA announcer. Be back shortly. And we're just about ready to get this rematch kicked off. Starting goalies for this morning's game. For the week's majors, Jared Sorrento, number 31, and Brighton Hardy, number 33, for the Sydney Mitsubishi Rush. The Weeks took the game 11-3 last night. Rush looking to have a better showing this morning. And here we go. Rush control it off the draw. McPhee fires it up the wing. That's cut off and fired back down. Hardy stops it behind the goal. McPhee plays it around the wing. Just deflected down the ice, but that's going to be an icing call in the opening minute of play. Face off to the left of Hardy. Frazier will come in to take the draw. He'll win it cleanly. Bertram with a shot from the point. Glove down by Hardy. Rush will get a quick change in. Faceoff's controlled by the Rush. McIntyre spins off a check, gets it up the wing, just out of the reach of Gideon. That shot from the point, blocked in front. Bertram pinched down, knocked off the puck by McIntyre. Puck's chopped out of the zone by the Rush. Taken over at center by Bertram. He'll make one man miss. Dunn gets a stick on it and he'll give chase. Just out of his reach. Frazier will take it over there. Puck will slide down the ice for McIntyre. They'll play it hard up the boards. Gideon's taken down at center. No icing on the play. Sorrento will leave it there for Bertram. That puck misses its intended target. It'll be sent down the ice, but off the foot of Williams. Weeks regroup at center. Gain the line. Quick shot from a sharp angle. Rebounds cleared to the corner by McPhee. Williams steps up. McPhee gets a piece of him. Morrison back down in the corner, plays it hard up the wing. Just gets enough of it there as Dunn to clear it outside the zone. That rush is stalled just inside the blue line. Williams takes it over. Feed on the flank, his shot towards the goal. Might have ticked off the pad of Hardy. McPhee, headman pass by Morrison. Drop there for Christmas. Bass Christmas can't get the shot away. Laporte fires it towards the goal, but wide. McPhee will have a dump in. Tries to bank it off the backboards. No one there for the rush. Puck's played into the middle of the ice for the Weeks. Over the lines, White. White sneaks by McPhee. Picks the puck up in the corner. McPhee gets another shot on him. Weeks come away with the puck. Croft makes a move to the middle. Tries to find the man streaking down with the passes behind him. Weeks' cycle game is started. Here's Croft. Flips it into the middle. Off a stick. Doesn't reach White. And that pass gets to Laporte, but it's shot back in offside. Weeks couldn't tag up in time. Off the draw, Weeks control. Gain the line is Swain. He'll dump it down and give chase. Loses an edge down in the corner. McLean comes away with it cleanly. Guthrow chips it to the center. Off a stick, doesn't reach the target. Back for it is Kidd. He'll get a head of steam through the neutral zone. Cuts through the defense. Can't get a shot away. Knocked off his stick at the last second. Lee gets a stick on it but can't clear the zone. Sullivan into the middle. Tanner, he's stripped of the puck at the blue line, and the rush will come back the other way. That's dumped in by Syliboy, and he'll go for a change. Wholesale changes for the rush. Sullivan with it, just breaking out of his zone. Cross-ice feed connects there. Morrison can't get the angle on Kidd. Chopped to the goal. Kidd takes a sharp angle shot, but Hardy swallows it up. Face-off's controlled by the rush. McIntyre behind the goal. Can't find the lane to the winger. Turned over. Here's Bertram. Leaves it there. Pass to the back door. Just out of the reach of Eisenor. White has it on the half wall. Back to the point. McCackern. His shot's deflected. Rush battle it outside the line. Back to McCackern. He'll take a hard shot just outside the blue line, and that's going to be held for a face-off. Rush win the draw. McPhee plays it hard around for Dunn. Dunn picks it off the boards. Tries to find Gideon streaking down the wing, but that pass is intercepted. Weeks fire it down, jumps over the stick of McPhee. He has to go back for it with Pugsley on his back. Chip to the middle. Off the stick there of Lewis and sent right back down by the Weeks. McLeod back for it. Plays it over to McPhee. Up the boards for Gideon. Gideon can't pick up that pass. Quick shot on goal by Bertram is turned away by Hardy. Bertram plays it back down to the corner. Gideon with another chance, but can't find the opening. Turned over to Fraser into the middle for Pugsley. He can't find it in his skates. McLeod has the puck knocked off his stick by Fraser, and he's eliminated from the play by Fraser in the corner. Rush get it up the center. Gideon finds the lane. Rush go for a change. Weeks with a quick up. Pass up to Fraser into the middle. McIntyre sealing his man on the boards. Croft. Puck's loose. Centering pass. Shot, they score! Pass out on the back door. Connects, and the Weeks take an early 1-0 lead. Eli Swain opens the scoring 14:53 remaining in the first period. Great look coming out of the corner to find Swain streaking off the bench. And the Weeks open the scoring. McIntyre with it off the restart. Fires it down into the zone. Out to stop it is Sorrento. He'll play it hard off the glass. Gets around. And back comes Kidd. One-on-one. Puts it by McIntyre. Drop pass there for Croft. McIntyre shuts that rush off. Gets the puck to Laporte, I believe. He's knocked off the puck down in the corner, and that's going to be a tripping call. First penalty of the game. Pardon me, I believe the penalty was committed against Luke Andrea. And Jaden Croft for the Weeks will sit for 2 minutes or less. 14:21 remaining in the first. Rush head to the first power play of the game. At the point, here's Miller. Sealed off, he'll drop it back for McLeod. McLeod will find McPhee on the near point. He'll go in for a shot. That took a bite out of the Weeks defenseman. McLeod on the half wall for Miller. It hits a body and pops straight up in the air. Regained possession by the Rush. Frawley plays it back to the point. That shot down low is blocked, and the Weeks will clear the zone. Minute and 30 left in the power play. Here's McLeod breaking out of his own zone. Gets it across to McPhee. McPhee fires it down. Sorrento can't get much of a piece on that. Back behind the net. Centering pass is negated. Weeks have full control, and they'll actually fire it up the middle, and it's caught there by McPhee. Here's Morrison at the point. He'll backhand it across. McPhee with it. Finds the seam, but the pass too hard for Miller to handle. Phillips gets in to disrupt that clearing attempt, but the Weeks regain possession and play it to an open corner. Try to find the opening, and they do. Puck's played down the ice. Morrison regroups behind his goal. Morrison breaking it out, passes it up, banks off the boards, can't find Gideon, but icing will be the call. That bank pass was just a little too strong by Morrison. 24 seconds remaining in the opening power play for the Rush. Not a whole lot to show for it so far. Face-off's controlled by the Weeks. Sullivan puts it back to Tanner, but that'll drag him outside the zone. Dunn in forechecking. Sent down the ice. Morrison with it. He'll try to regroup in his own zone. Just 10 seconds remain in this power play. Morrison skates it out of the zone, finds McIntyre on the half wall. He'll fire it down. Sorrento comes out to play it. McIntyre seals off the wall, but the Rush can't pick up possession. Now they will. Penalty's over. Back to the point. Morrison takes it off a skate. Plays it down low. Pass across from Lewis is off a skate. Morrison will have to pick it up. Dunn in the corner. Can't pick it up cleanly. Tough pass to take. Pass into the center, but no one there for the Rush. And back come the Weeks. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Pass over to the middle for Sims. Sims pass to the middle. Off the skate of McIntyre. Onto the half wall. Sim leaves it there for Tanner. Played down low. Into the front. Off McIntyre's skate. Plays it up the wing for Dunn. Dunn has some room to skate. He'll get the line and fire it in for Syliboy and go for a change. Syliboy takes the wrong angle to the puck, and Tanner beats him to it. Screaming off the bench there was Guthrow. Breaking up that breakout attempt. Isanor plays it to the middle. for Williams. Williams back the other way for the Weeks with speed. Cuts in, shot off the shoulder of Hardy. And the Weeks had a man driving the net hard. Hardy does well to swallow that puck up, not allowing any rebound chances. Back to the point off the draw for Williams. Cross-ice feed connects there with McKenzie. He tries to find Williams. That pass misses. Back to the half wall now. That's Pugsley. His pass is off the stick of Guthrow. McKenzie comes over and steals the puck from him. Big hit down in the corner on McLean. McLeod comes in to help out. Gets the puck into the middle for Lee. Parker Lee of the Rush streaking down the wing. Has his pass turned away. Collision there with Lee. And the puck is back and forth in this run of play. Finally gets dumped into the Weeks end. Here's McKenzie with it. He headmans the puck, but that pass is too strong for Eisenor. Stretch pass into the middle. Swain drops it off there. Bertram will fire it down. Morrison first to it for the Rush. Played to the line, but kept in. Blocked there by Morrison and chipped back into the corner. Here's Kidd with it. His centering pass. Misses everybody. Bertram pinches up for the Weeks. Plays it down low for Swain. Swain's eliminated. And it's played high, but not outside the zone. Fair catch made by Bertram. He'll play it down from out of the reach of any of the Weeks players, but Morrison will take it for the Rush. Plays it hard around for Bass Christmas. His pass off the skate of Andrea. He'll give chase into the Weeks zone. On the tail of McCackern. McCackern plays it around for Croft. Croft tries the long stretch pass. That's knocked down out of the air by Phillips. Now Bass Christmas with it. Walks around one man. That pass makes it through to McPhee. McPhee shot off the paddle of Sorrento. His toughest save of the morning. Good look from McPhee there. Body's flying down in that corner. Puck comes free. Weeks. Actually, we have a penalty behind the play. Holding is going to be the call. It's going to be Griffin McCackern. 2 minutes for holding on the Weeks. Just going to head to our first commercial break of the morning. Back shortly.
Today's game is fueled by Some Good, the clean, natural hydration shots trusted by athletes across Atlantic Canada. Packed with unfiltered apple cider, electrolytes, and no artificial junk, Some Good keeps you hydrated the right way, whether you're on the ice, in the gym, or cheering from the stands. It tastes unreal, it's good for you, and it supports local. Grab a Some Good and feel the difference. Hydration made simple, performance made better.
And we're back. Rush will have their second opportunity on the power play. Currently 0 for 1. Weeks holding a 1-0 lead early in this game, about halfway through the first period. Weeks grab control and fire it down the ice. Rush will have to regroup. Deacon McPhee back in his own end. Leaves it there for McLeod. McLeod stripped of the puck in the middle of the ice. McIntosh draws a hooking call. And that'll do it for the Rush power play. Deacon McPhee will head to the box. Some will say it's a good penalty to take. McIntosh may have had a clear shot towards the net after that turnover. So we'll play 4-on-4 for the next minute and 38 seconds, and then the Weeks will head to a short power play after that. Back to the point. Bertram plays it around Morrison. Ethan Miller regains possession, takes a bump behind the net from Kidd. Centering pass just off the stick of Hardy, and back the other way comes McLeod. McLeod stripped of the puck just inside the blue line, quickly played ahead. 2-on-1 opportunity here. Here's Kidd with it, backdoor pass. Good stop there from Hardy off of Swain. Into the middle, return pass. That's negated there by McLeod. His pass up to Miller was behind him. Off the side of the net dangerously. Hardy has to be aware there. Rush trying to regroup. Here's Morrison. Plays it ahead. Off the skate. Miller stripped of it at center. Here's Swain again. Plays it ahead to Kidd. Kidd, one man to beat. McIntyre gets a stick on it. Doesn't end up with a shot on net is Kidd. McIntyre trying to break things out. Plays it around one man, but that's turned over in the middle by Tanner. Tanner sees an opening and he'll take it. Into the middle, off the skate of Dunn. Filling in for McIntyre at the point. He'll regroup here. Leaves it for Morrison. Morrison plays it back for McIntyre on the far side. McIntyre looking for a pass. He'll find it in the middle to Dunn. Dunn gains the line, tries to go behind his back. Back to the point. McIntyre can't pick it up cleanly with a man in his face. Kidd has some speed down the lane. Shot, blocker stop by Hardy. Cross ice feed connects there. And a nice glove save from Hardy as the Weeks move it around inside the rush zone with ease. .6:30 left on the clock. 11 seconds remain in the McPhee minor. Played off the boards and down the ice. That should just about do it for this abbreviated Weeks power play. McPhee's set to come back on. Williams gains the line, has it knocked off his stick just as he does. Back the other way, 1-on-3 comes Gideon. He's stripped of the puck. And the Weeks coming out of their zone rather casually, and Gideon steals the puck for the second time. He's held along the boards, chipped ahead. Here come the Weeks again, 2-on-2, 3-on-2 now. Frazier walks around one, shot into the middle, they score! Hardy got the first one, rebound sat right there in the crease. And Ewan Sim bangs it home. Weeks 2, Rush 0. 5:46 to go in the first period. Face-off controlled by the Rush. Puck's played ahead off the stick of Tanner. Tanner inside his own zone. Played into the middle. Isanor will pick it up now. Lots of speed coming the other way. Sullivan gets a piece of Guthrow's stick, I believe, at the line, and the Rush will come the other way. Guthrow dumps it in. Sarando plays it behind the goal. He'll fire it up the wing. And it's an easy exit for the Weeks. McIntosh plays it ahead. Now he'll go towards the net. McIntyre gets a stick on him. Shot on goal. Rebounds there, and they score! Hardy couldn't find the rebound after 2 or 3 chops at it, and it's chipped over his shoulder for the third goal of the game for the Weeks. This one coming from Ewan White. 5:07 left in the first. Quickly into the zone again. Kidd with a wild shot well high of the net. Off the glass and another one towards the net. Hardy swallows that one up. Rush win the drop. McPhee puts it ahead. Laporte with it, plays it off the boards ahead. Bass Christmas picks it up there. He cuts up, tries to find the backdoor pass, just out of the reach of Andrea. Andrea, good back check there. Weeks still gain possession and fire it back down behind Hardy's goal. Morrison back with it. Flushed out there by Green. Plays it up the boards. Laporte's pass into the middle is stopped by Burcham. And the Weeks play it back down. Green in forechecking for the Weeks. Turned over at the point, but no pass available for the Weeks. Burcham now at center. Plays it across off the stick of Kidd and in. Morrison bobbles it, but gets away with it. Gets it up the wing to Bass Christmas. He'll play it back down for Morrison, but it's out of his reach. And the Weeks take over possession inside the offensive zone. Regained by the Rush, just chipped out of the zone by Phillips. Ethan Miller will gain the line, fire it down into McEachran's corner and give chase. McEachran battles 2 Rush down there and gets the puck ahead. 3-on-2 Rush coming here. Here's Pugsley. Cross-ice feed. Just gets returned to the back door, but it's off McIntyre's stick and into the corner. Played hard around. That's going to be an icing call on the Rush as soon as the Weeks touch up. Face-off coming back down in the Rush zone. Off the draw, Rush control. McLean going for a skate. Knocked off the puck by McKenzie at center. Just flipped into the zone. Deep inside the weak zone, but that stretch pass connects to Sim. Sim loses it momentarily, plays it down into the corner. Miller seals his man on the wall. Sim giving McIntyre a ride. Puck comes free. Swain tries to play it behind the goal for Sim. Back to the point. Walks in. Quick shot off a body in front. Rebounds there. Phillips gathers it up for the Rush. Plays it ahead. Bass Christmas makes a move at the line. Just onside. Tries to get the puck to the net. McIntyre steps up to keep it alive. And the Weeks take over on the half wall, and they'll skate things out the other way. McKenzie with it. Drops it off there. Return feed. Rebounds there. Cleared out of the harm's way by McIntyre. Dangerous chance through a few sets of legs, and now we finally have a whistle. Looks like there's an ice issue. I noticed McIntyre pointing at it during the play. Must have been a rut or something in the ice. We'll have to take a short break for a little bit of ice repair. We'll be back shortly. From what I can tell, everyone, there's a bit of a severe ice issue down in the rush end, and I think they're going to send the teams to the dressing rooms and add on the last 2 minutes and 11 seconds to the next period with a fresh sheet of ice. So after most of the first period, the Weeks hold a 3-0 lead over the Rush, and we'll be back after the intermission. We'll talk soon. And we're back, folks. I'm going to play the remainder of the first period here, 2 minutes and 11 seconds. And then we'll restart for the second. Rush control off the face-off in their own zone. Back the other way is Phillips. He has it knocked off his stick, and it's going to be an offside call on the play. Weeks control the draw, played ahead into the neutral zone. Here's Kidd, takes the pass inside the line. Backhand shot off the shoulder of Hardy. Behind the nets, McPhee plays it up to Crawley. Crawley headmans that pass, but it's behind its intended target, Miller. Now Sullivan with it, off the stick of Frazier in the neutral zone. Tanner plays it ahead. Into the zone come the Weeks. Crawley battles his man and battles the puck outside the line. Sullivan with it now. Cross-ice feed to Tanner. Tanner back in front of his goal for Sullivan. Stretch pass to Frazier is tipped inside the zone. Pugsley going to be first on it. Centered to the net. Kidd, backhand chance. That's shut down by Hardy. Face off straight ahead, come the rush. Here's Dunn. He'll gain the line. As Gideon driving the post. Can't get the puck to him. Battle for it along the boards. Knocked away from his stick was Dunn. Regains possession, but hands it right back. Weeks with possession now inside their own zone. Headman pass off the stick of Swain. Down inside the rush zone. McLean plays it up the boards. Sim cuts that off. Puck behind the goal. Sim back to the point. McKenzie fans on the return pass, but it does arrive to Sim. Hand it off to Swain. Swain into the middle. Dangles one guy. Loses control before the shot. Sealed along the boards by McIntyre. Chipped to the point, but not out. Williams with it. Cross-ice feed connects there. Back to Williams. Walks in. Quick shot right into the crest. McIntyre cleared to the boards. McKenzie has it. Nice stop from Hardy there, and that'll do it for the first period of play. After the first period, it's 3-0 for the Weeks. Shots on goal are 19-2 in favor of the Weeks. Be back after a quick break for the second period. Rush control off the restart. McLeod to McPhee. Back to McLeod. Off his stick. White has it. Centering pass. Just out of the reach of McIntosh. Big hit in the corner. White stays on his feet. Played to the point. Kept in by Bertram. Battled out by Nicholas Bass-Christmas of the Rush. And it's played down the ice. Sarando comes out to play it. Bertram can't chip it by his man, but gets a second chance and does. Weeks battled it into the zone, kept in at the line. Looking for a pass to the net, just behind the target. Quick shot, that's blocked in front by McPhee. McEachern couldn't find the lane. Bank pass off the boards, just out of the reach of Laporte. May have got a tip on it though, icing's waved off. Pass into the middle, off the shin pad of Kidd. He'll pick it up with speed now, crisscrossing, dangles in. Quick shot on goal. Knifed away by Hardy and thrown from the back of the net into Hardy's pads. He couldn't find it for a moment, but holds on for a whistle. Face-off controlled by the Weeks. Shot coming from the point. Tipped in front. Rebounds there. Just not really sure, to be honest. It was on the line. Referees had another look, and Hardy found it just in time. Face-off controlled again. Lots of room for Sullivan to walk in. He'll pivot back, loses the control of the puck for a moment. Played down to the half wall now. Centering pass to the back door for Tanner. Just off the stick of Guthrow. Tanner being hounded by Guthrow. Can't quite get the puck out of the zone, unfortunately, for the Rush. Morrison takes control. He fires it blindly up the boards. Off the stick of a Weeks player, but it does get outside the zone. Tanner trying to go through a couple of Rush players at the line, but he's turned back. Reverse play. Eisenhower will gain the line. Fire it down behind Hardy's goal. Swain pinches in, keeps it inside the zone. Back to the point. Sullivan back to Tanner. Tanner into the middle. Two Rush players collide. Quick shot towards the goal. Off the side of the net. Off the rebound. Swain dancing behind the goal. Plays it to Kidd. Kidd back to the point for Sullivan. Sullivan, quick shot towards the goal. Tipped and held by Hardy for another whistle.
Today's even split was marked Andrea. They now pay $150. Congratulations.
Yet another face-off inside the Rush zone. McIntyre plays it behind the net. Hard off the glass, pinching down is McCackern. McIntyre plays it to an open corner, but no one there for the Rush. Weeks gained possession again, played down low. McIntyre gets a stick on that, and it's chipped outside the zone by Phillips. Back for it come the Weeks with Hudson Crawley on it. Played to the line off of Phillips' skate. Brought back in, and quickly out by McCackern. Off the stick of Sim. McIntyre back for it for the Rush. Held by Sim, and he'll draw a penalty on the play. .17:02 to go in the second period. Penalty will be on you and Sim. 2 minutes for holding. Rush head to their third power play of the game. Off the draw, McLeod to McPhee. McPhee shot off a body in front. Dunn regains possession on the half wall. Kept in at the line by McLeod. Back to Dunn on the half wall. He'll drop it for McLeod. Feeds it across ice, just inside the line. McPhee walks in, slap shot, scores! Deacon McPhee goes posting in for the power play goal for the Rush. To open the scoring for the Rush this morning. 3-1 game in favor of the Weeks. 16:41 to go in the second period. The Ewan Sim penalty proves costly as the Rush capitalize on the power play. Played back to the point off the restart. McLeod lays it down. McCackern takes over for the Weeks. Drops it there for Swain. Swain backdoor. What a stop by Hardy. And the rebound sent to the front of the net. Swain spins and fires wide of the goal. Big hit at the blue line. 2 men go down. Head man Gideon fires it down. Sarando has it behind the goal. Flips it by Dunn. Swain chips it to the middle. decides to hang on, didn't like what he saw. Now he'll fire it up to McCachran. McCachran dumps it in. Kidd, first man on it. He's nailed by Gideon. Gideon has possession, flips it to the middle. Potential 2-on-1 chance for Christmas if he gets it to the middle. He does. Lewis has the backhand forehand chance, but he misses the far post. Great chance for the Rush to get it within one. Flipped high by Morrison, out to the neutral zone, taken over by McCachran there. McCachran drops it there off the stick of Laporte. In now is Kidd, shot, scores! And just like that, the Weeks get it right back, make it 4-1. Nathan Kidd picks up the turnover just inside the Rush blue line and buries it past Hardy. 4-1 Weeks. 15-21 to go in the second. Back come the Weeks after that jam play at the side of the net. 2-on-2 Rush here. Backdoor pass, good play there from Andrea to negate that chance on Sim. Sim's knocked off the puck by Bass Christmas. Puck's played ahead. Sullivan plays it to a wing, but there's no one there. Christmas tries to chip it around his man, but he's knocked down. 3 men taking care of Christmas on the play, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. Cross-checking is going to be the call. Retaliation play, I would say. 3 guys in there on Christmas, and Kingston Laporte comes in, takes exception. He'll sit for 2 minutes or less. 14:43 remaining in the second period. Weeks back to the power play. Off the boards and out. Breakaway chance here for Andrea if he can get ahead, but Tanner catches him. Good back check there from Cohen Tanner. Andrea got a stick on that breakout pass, but now comes Ewan White over the line. Drops it off for Kidd, the latest Weeks goal scorer. Back to the point for Tanner. He'll walk in. Walks around Andrea, but loses the handle briefly. Here's Kidd. He'll swap places with Tanner. Drops it off there. McKenzie with it now. Heavy shot from McKenzie, but he chooses to go to Tanner, and that'll hit a skate in the slot area and carry him outside the zone. Dropped off for Kidd at center. He'll get ahead of steam going the other way. Bobbles it momentarily. Quick shot on goal. Off the shoulder of Hardy and up and out of play. Rush can't find it in their feet. McLeod loses it to Swain. 52 seconds to go in the power play. Burcham at the point, top of the umbrella, feeds it across. Sim tries to go down low off the stick of Guthrow. Sim has control on the half wall. He'll regain possession at the point. Cross-ice feed to Williams. Williams finds Sim. Sim shot. That's high and wide. Karam's back to the point for Williams. Williams down low. Connects there with Frazier. Frazier back to Sim. Sim looking for the pass to the middle, but it's not available. Morrison will pile up in the corner, killing some time off this penalty. And it'll be banked off the boards, and that'll exit the zone. Williams takes over at center. 5 seconds remaining in the penalty to Laporte. That entry is stalled, and that'll do it for the penalty. Laporte just about picked Burcham's pocket. Pass ahead off the stick of Lewis. Burcham with possession behind his goal. He'll walk it out. He'll gain the line with ease. Still looking like the Weeks are on the power play. Big hit by McLean down low. Weeks aren't happy with a potential headshot, but jam play at the side of the net. Unsuccessful for the Weeks. Hardy holds it for another whistle. And they are calling the headshot after all. I didn't see an arm go up initially, but Angus Huey McLean of the Rush, number 22, will sit for 2 minutes. 12:07 to go in the second period. Weeks back to the power play. Off the draw, played around but kept in at the line. Tanner will regroup, gets it across to Kidd. Kidd fans on the return feed but gets to Tanner. Pass down low, out of the reach. Back to Tanner. Tanner has a man on the half wall. Kidd cuts out, backdoor pass. Back to Tanner at the middle. Easy stop there for Hardy. No traffic in front. Good box out. A minute and 35 left in the penalty. Kept in at the line by Tanner. Tanner in the middle. Back on the wall to McKenzie. McKenzie with a hard shot towards the goal. Tied up in front. Chopped to the line by Andrea, but kept in by Tanner. Tanner drags to the middle. Feed back into the middle for White. White can't take it cleanly. Rush can't find the hole. Shot towards the goal. McKenzie. Pad stopped by Hardy, and they regroup quickly, and that'll find the back of the net. Cole Pugsley, power play goal for the Weeks. Open up a 5-1 lead now. 11-11 left in the second.
Weeks goal scored by number 7, Cole Pugsley, assisted by
Rush chop it down inside the Weeks zone. McCackern back for it. Played around. Here's Sullivan. Finds McIntosh with it. He bobbles it momentarily. Gets it ahead to McCackern. Leading the Rush is the defenseman. Quick shot into the crest of Hardy. And we got a little bit of rough stuff behind the goal. McCackern in the middle of 3 Rush players. Penalty coming out of this. Roughing will be the call. Not sure if it's an even up call. I believe it is. Griffin McCackern of the Weeks and Jamie Morrison of the Rush will both sit for 2 minutes. Coincidental roughing calls. Off the draw. Behind the goal. Now back to the half wall. Into the middle. Here's Bertram. Takes a quick shot. Off a body in front. Rebound sitting there. Taken control of by Crawley. Crawley gets it to Dunn. Dunn beats his man wide. Has a lane to the net. Off the post and out. Great chance for Jacob Dunn. Back the other way comes Eisenor of the Weeks. He'll gain the line. Just squeaks by McLeod, but McLeod takes possession. Plays it softly ahead, but out of the reach of Dunn. Banked off the boards by Sullivan, and back comes Eisenor of the Weeks. He's stripped by Coda Lewis just inside the line. Stretch pass. Ends up connecting with Crawley. He's bodied off the puck by Sullivan. Played to an open wing now, and that'll connect with Eisenor. He walks in, shot just wide of the near post. Chipped ahead, just over the stick of Williams, but he regains possession. Weeks will have to tag up. They had a man stuck deep. Here's McLeod. He'll gain the line. Fires it in deep. Kept in at the line. Shot towards the goal. Blocked before it could get to Sorrento. Pugsley runs into his own man. Possession turned over to the Rush. Guthrow, headmans to Sillaboy, leaves for Guthrow. Guthrow, shot on goal, wide of the net, unfortunately for him. Pass stretches across to Pugsley, but it's out of his reach, and it'll drift all the way down on Hardy. He'll have to cover up for a face-off. Just going to take our commercial break. We'll be back shortly.
Today's game is fueled by Some Good, the clean, natural hydration shots trusted by athletes across Atlantic Canada. Packed with unfiltered apple cider, electrolytes, and no artificial junk, Some Good keeps you hydrated the right way, whether you're on the ice, in the gym, or cheering from the stands. It tastes unreal, it's good for you, and it supports local. Grab a Some Good and feel the difference. Hydration made simple, performance made better.
Face off to the right of Hardy. 9:04 to go in the second period. Face off one, back to McKenzie. He runs into his own man, flipped out of the zone. Guthrow gives chase. 2-on-1 opportunity here if they hurry for the Rush. Shot just wide of the blocker side by Guthrow. Williams behind the goal, spins off Guthrow. Stretch pass into the middle. Sim with it now. Sim breaks over the line with back-checking pressure, drops it off. Pass across to McKenzie now. We'll find Williams back into the middle for McKenzie. Quick shot on goal, he scores! Seeing eye shot from the high point, ends up beating Hardy. 8:30 to go in the second period, 6-1 Weeks. And the Coincidental Miners are over. Latest goal scored by Nick McKenzie of the Weeks. Off the restart, Crawley tries to redirect it in, turned over to Tanner. Into the middle for Kidd. He keeps the puck moving forward. McIntosh drops it off there. Kidd regains possession now. Quick shot off the side of the net. Hardy may have got a piece of that one. Puck's played behind the goal for McPhee. Kidd takes possession and plays it back behind the Rush goal. Chipped off the boards. Tanner can't keep it at the line. But Sullivan, backing his D partner up, takes control. Gets it back to Tanner. Tanner battled by Miller. Kept in at the point by the Rush. Played to an open wing. Tanner's going to beat his man Miller to the puck. Played out to the neutral zone. Here's McPhee with it. Stretch pass connects with Crawley. Crawley puts it ahead, but out of the reach of Miller. Miller has it go off his skate and almost had a chance in front. Tanner plays it ahead, out of the reach of Swain, and that'll be an icing call against the Weeks. Looks like more patchwork is needed on the ice surface. We'll take a quick break as they patch up the ice. Looks like they're happy with that. We'll continue to play. Face off straight ahead by the Weeks. Swain chips it out to Kidd. Kidd looks for a shot. Just wide of the net. Swain's going to win the race to that puck. Played back to the point for McCackern. Back down to Swain. Swain drops it off there. Sim into the middle for Tanner off his stick and turned over to Nicholas Bass-Christmas of the Rush. Puck's played ahead for Laporte, but it's out of his reach. McCackern will take possession again. Pass is played ahead. Morrison tries to go cross ice with it. No one there for the Rush. Andrea can't find the handle. Morrison with it now. Sky is one into the far corner. McCackern wins the race. Played into the middle. Off the stick of Nicholas Bass-Christmas. He makes one man miss. Pass across. Blocked in front. Sarando didn't have to make the save on that one. Now Kidd comes hard back the other way. Shot off the side of the net. Rebound chance. Passed into the middle. Lewis with a chance here. Two back checkers coming hard on him. Bertram takes the angle away. Gideon follows up the play looking for an option. Plays it back to the point, but no one there for the Rush. Now Pugsley with it. Pugsley over the line. Tries to get a shot off the stick of McIntyre. McIntyre regains possession, plays it down, but there's no one there. McCackern shot on goal. Not sure if Hardy got a piece or not, but it rims all the way around. Played to an open wing out of the reach of McIntyre. He'll have to hustle to keep battling this out. Kept in by Pugsley. Pugsley with a lane shot. Back to the point here. That's Bertram. Passes it off. Quick shot wide of the goal. And we have a whistle. Net looks like it's off. I'm not sure, but I feel like that net's been off for quite some time. About 30 seconds ago, I thought they were going to blow it down when Lewis had a partial break, but I thought they allowed the play to play out, but net's was off for quite some time. Back to the point. McCackern shot knifed away there by Hardy. Lee behind the goal. Keeps the puck moving forward. Here's Guthrow on the half wall. Can't get it by. McCackern. Chipped out again. Here's Guthrow with it. Plays it hard across the ice for Syliboy, but he can't pick up the pass. McIntosh across. Finds McCackern. Back to McIntosh. He'll gain the line. Or pardon me, that's Bertram. He'll play it into the middle, but no one there for the Weeks. Pass the head off the skate of Lee. Morrison will fan on that dump-in attempt, and it's chipped by him for Swain. Swain with a partial break. He's cut off nicely by McPhee. Swain walks out. Rebound's there. Shot wide of the near post. Rebound comes out dangerously, but it's chopped away before the shot could come. Here's McKenzie. Back to the point. Williams on the half wall. Shot. Blocked in front. And here we go again. The net looks like it's off. The ice surface here at the Wellness Center causing some serious problems. Several stops for ice repairs and nets popping off their moorings, but we play on. Puck's played to the half wall, driven out by Phillips. He'll gain the line, plays it across for Crawley. Crawley cuts up, knocked off stride before the shot can come through the crease. McIntyre spins and fires, but can't get much on that shot. Now it's pinned along the half wall. Weeks try to break it out. Here's Swain. Swain chops it into the middle. Sim shoots, scores. And that'll make it a 7-1 game. Weeks on top. They take advantage of the fast break opportunity. Ewan Sim puts it home. 3:55 to go in the second. McLeod
Weeks goal scored by
to
number
McPhee.
26, Nicholas McKenzie.
Chipped into the stands at center by the Rush.
14, Ewan Sim, and number 25, Eli Swain. Time of the goal, 16 minutes, 5 seconds. That's McKenzie from Sim and Swain at 16.
Pardon me, I thought it went straight in, but it must have been a pass from Sim across to McKenzie. He gets credit for the goal. Off the restart, it's played down inside the Rush zone. Played hard around, but kept in. Oh, actually hops over the stick of Sullivan. He'll spin and fire it back up the center. 2 Weeks collide and miss the puck, but they'll regain possession. Now the Rush battle it forward. A little bit of ping pong in the neutral zone right now. McPhee inside his zone for the Rush, plays it high. It's going to enter the bench of the Weeks. .3:15 to go in this second period where the Weeks have dominated. A couple of power play goals and they have a 7-1 lead. Bertram steps up, takes the puck away, into the middle, shot on goal, high and over the net. Now done with it. Skating behind his goal, switches directions, creates some space for himself. Play a long lob, but knocked down at center before it could get to Gideon. Lewis into the middle, but turned over there to Pugsley. That touch pass misses. Played into the middle for Dunn. Dunn tries to drop it off to Lewis. He'll get a second chance down to the corner for Gideon. Gideon's knocked off the puck. Rush still have control. Momentarily, that is. Ahead for Pugsley now. He'll gain the line. Drop pass there. Nowhere to go for Kidd. He'll just play it softly into the corner. Green down there. Drops it off. Shot stopped by Hardy. Rebound cleared to the point. Quick shot coming there off the stick of McKenzie. That's off a body and over the glass. 2:08 left in the second period. Been a little bit of an extended second as they played the 2 minutes and 11 seconds of the first in this frame as well due to the ice issue. Off the draw, McIntyre spins, fires it up the boards. It'll just get outside the line. Race for it now, but McKenzie's going to beat Guthrow to the puck. Guthrow puts some pressure on, but McKenzie gets it to Swain. Swain, backdoor pass off the stick of McIntyre. Rebounds there. Shot on goal from a dangerous angle, but Hardy shuts it down. Weeks moving the puck around quickly inside that Rush zone. Off the draw, Williams streaks down the wing, tries to center it. That shot's heeled in front. Williams with an opportunity again, plays it down into the middle for Frazier, just out of his reach, played to the line but kept in. Shots wide of Hardy's goal. Now Williams takes it off the half wall, quick shot towards the goal, fought off by Hardy. Rebound into the corner. Chip to an open wing, Swain giving chase. Chip to the line and out by McLeod. 2-on-1 opportunity for the Rush here. Phillips in, shot, scores! Very nice shot from Matt Phillips. Had his eyes on the pass the whole way. And he beats Sorrento with a quick snapshot. Rush with their second goal of the game. It's a 7-2 tally. Minute and 8 left in the second period. Great shot from Phillips there. Give the Rush a little momentum possibly heading into the third. Back for it is McLeod. Plays it to Morrison. Morrison plays it ahead, but kept in at the line. McLeod plays it high off the glass again. Chipped ahead. It's going to be a high sticking whistle, but the Weeks touch it, and it's fired back down behind Sorrento. Behind the goal, Ethan Miller causing trouble for the Rush. Weeks get away with it. McIntosh takes the outlet pass, hands it to Sullivan. Sullivan with some speed over the line. Plays it into the middle. Taken over there by the Rush, Phillips. Chopped outside the line. McIntosh bothered by Miller, but it's shot down behind Hardy's goal. Back there is Liam McLeod for the Rush. He's flushed out by Pugsley. Played ahead. Here's Ethan Miller. Miller tries to walk around the D-man, has it poked off his stick. Tanner with it. He'll flip it away, and that'll do it for the second period of action. After 2 periods of play, the Week 7, the Rush 2, shots on goal are 39-6 in favor of the Weeks. We'll be back shortly for the third period. And we're back for the third period of play. After two, it's the week 7, the Rush 2. See if the Rush can mount some sort of a comeback here in the third period. We're ready to drop the puck. Here we go. Weeks control the draw. McEachern cross-ice feed. Bertram will skate it through the zone. Drops it to Swain. Shot on goal. Off a body, and that'll hop up over the glass. Face-off one, quick pass across to McEachern at the point. McEachern drops it off, but Pugsley had vacated his spot. Regained by McEachern, played down low. Cycle game is engaged, but McLeod picks it off, plays it ahead, but out of the reach of Crawley. Back into the zone come the Weeks. Pugsley can't find it on the boards. Sim does. Sim, quick shot towards the goal, off a stick and into the corner. Kidd plays it back to the point. Off the stick of Crawley. McEachern gets it, plays it off Pugsley in front. He'll regain it. Centering pass off the stick of Phillips. Crawley battles it to the boards. Chops it by Sim, but Bertram backing up Sim there. He'll play it back in. Flipped high. Big collision at the blue line between two Rush players. They get up a little slowly. Kidd is in. He shoots. Pad stop by Hardy. Pass across. Cut off by Crawley. He's away to the races. He shoots. Might have ticked off the glove of Sarando, but it goes high and over the net. Great opportunity for Crawley there. Played ahead. Big hit at the bench in front of the Rush. Pass across. Williams shot. Blocker stop. And the Rush touch up. Interference will be the call on that big hit. Hudson Crawley of the Rush will sit for 2 minutes. Weeks will head to the power play. 18 left in the third period. Morrison clears it around, but it's kept in at the line by Williams. Williams cross-ice pass to McKenzie. Back to Williams. Williams thinks about a shot, back to the middle. McKenzie will fire it, well wide and high. Comes back into the middle for Gideon, and he'll backhand it down the ice. Sarando out to play it. He'll leave it behind the goal for Williams. He'll break things out quickly for the Weeks. Pass ahead, connects with McKenzie. McKenzie drags it down behind the goal with Morrison on his back. Left behind the goal for Sim. Back up to Williams. Williams back to the point with Gideon on his hip. Played down low. Into the corner. Back to the top for Williams. Fake shot across to McKenzie. Back into the middle for Williams. He has a shot on goal. Late reaction from Hardy, but he gets it with the pad. Here's McKenzie, Stop with the pad. Rebounds there. Chop to the corner. Isenor back to the point. Back to Isenor. He's on his backhand. Shot on goal. Rebound off the far pad. Unable to clear of the Rush. Kept in now. Here's White with it. Back to the point. Stopped by Hardy. He punches it to the corner. 30 seconds to go in the power play. It's been the entire duration inside the Rush zone. Now Williams, clean shot on goal, fought off by Hardy. Chopped to the line, but kept in. White with it for the Weeks. Behind the net, looking for an alley to the net. Dropped off there for Swain. He has it picked off. Played off of Williams' stick and down the ice. Quick up by Sarando as the Rush are trying to change. Good play from Morrison to chip that outside the zone, but Sim regains possession. He walks in, quick shot on goal, rebounds there, they score! Hardy stopped the first one from off of the kid's shot, but the rebound was lying there in the crease. And after a couple of whacks at it, it's banged home. Not sure who got the last touch on it. I think it was Pugsley, but we'll wait to hear the official announcement. 8-2 for the Weeks. 16 minutes left in the third period. Puck dribbles down onto Hardy. He'll hold for a face-off. At the point is McCackern. Plays it down low. Pardon me, after the announcement, it looks like Kidd got the last touch on that one. Played ahead for Bass Christmas. He's one-on-one now. Makes a move to the net. Sealed off nicely by McCackern. Play to an open corner. Weeks break it out cleanly. Sim with it. Slaloming through the neutral zone. Gets it to Pugsley. His shot. Stopped by Hardy. Shots have gotten up to the 50 mark. 50-7 in favor of the Weeks, who've been having their way throughout this game. 15-12 on the clock. 8-2 in favor of the Weeks after that latest power play goal. Face-off won by the Rush. Played off the boards. Kept in by Tanner at the point. That's chopped out finally by the Rush down the ice. Sullivan back for it. Sullivan plays it ahead to Tanner. Tanner tries to find Sullivan. The pass misses. It's just chipped down onto Hardy, and he'll hold for another face-off. Scramble draw, comes free to the boards, chopped off the boards and kept in at the line. Played to an open corner. McLean with it. Stretch passes off a shin pad of White at center. Just inside the line. Now Sullivan with it. He'll skate it out. We have a penalty behind the play. Interference is going to be the call on Cohen Tanner of the Weeks. Knocked Guthrow down behind the play. Rush will get a power play opportunity here. Rush control the draw. McLeod. Backhand pass with pressure from White. Connects with Miller. Miller back to the middle for McLeod. McLeod finds McPhee. McPhee winds up. Shot. Deflected in front. Wide of the goal. Puck into the corner. Three men battle for it. Comes free to Sullivan, and he'll find the opening. Fire it down the ice. Back for it for the Rush is McLeod. McLeod will skate things through the neutral zone. Fire it hard off the glass, but corralled behind the net by Sarando, and he finds the opening himself. Clears it down right to Hardy. And Hardy will have to... he thinks about covering it, but he ends up playing it. Smart move to negate that offensive zone face-off. Played ahead for Phillips, but it's off his skate. And that'll be fired. Heads up! McCackern with a wild shot down into the crowd. Looks like everyone's okay. Face off now inside the zone of the Weeks. controlled by the Rush, played back down, out of the reach of Lewis. McIntyre chips it ahead. Gideon plays it behind the goal. Here's Dunn with it on the half wall. Plays it hard across for McIntyre. McIntyre bobbles it in his feet. Rush coming the other way. Sim bobbles it, has it knocked off his stick by Morrison. Played ahead by McIntyre to Dunn. Now Dunn with some speed through the neutral zone. Cuts over the line. Shadowed by Williams there. McIntyre can't keep it at the far point. Played to the middle of the middle ice. Dunn makes a nice move to avoid pressure, and another. They'll gain the line as that just about does it for the power play as Tanner's back on. Not much to show for that power play for the Rush. Played to the half wall. Now with speed comes Tanner. He headmans the puck. Bass Christmas steps in to take him out of the play. Played to an open wing. McIntyre with it now. Plays it ahead. Connects with Gideon. Gideon into the middle for Bass Christmas. Back to Gideon. Looks for a lane to the net. Puts it back down to the corner. He's eliminated down there as Bass Christmas. Pile up along the half wall. Comes free now. Weeks battled it outside the zone. McCachran with it. Gets it ahead to McLeod. Or pardon me, McLeod's battling his man down there, Swain. Swain with it. Avoids a big check from Gideon. Bertram will play it hard down around. Comes free for Bass Christmas. He'll play it to Gideon. Chips it ahead. Here's Bass Christmas 1-on-2. Good back pressure there from the Weeks. Drop pass connects with McLeod. He'll put it behind the goal. Centering pass is there. Chopped on goal. McLeod follows it up and his shot goes wide as well. Andrea takes the stab at it and his shot's going to ramp up all the way around and out of the zone. McLean looking for that big stretch pass. Chopped ahead by Dunn, but off the shin pads of Isanor, and he'll fire it back down. Behind the goal, played around, kept in at the far point. Laporte stripped of the puck down low by White. The two number 10s battle for it. McLean in the corner. Can't get it by his man Kidd. Quick shot towards the goal, blocked by McPhee. Chopped out to center. There's Tanner with it. Plays it across to Sullivan. Chopped up to center and into the Rush zone. Hardy leaves it behind the goal. No one there for the Rush. Into the middle. Good play there from Guthrow. Shot off a stick, and that'll ramp up at a play. 10-11 remaining in the third period of an 8-2 game in favor of the Weeks. Puck comes free to the Rush. It's going to be flipped high. That'll end up in the penalty box area. Face off back down inside the Rush zone. Tanner at the point, controls it, cross ice feed, chopped on goal. Not a whole lot on it. McIntyre with it now, flips it high off the glass. Just going to bounce outside the zone, chipped ahead by Lee, but Silverboy couldn't find it in time. Guthrow can't find it in his feet. Frazier does. Chip to Frazier into the middle. Into the backdoor pass. Shot on goal. Blocked in front. Rebounds there. Hardy holds for a face-off. And we'll take our final commercial break of the morning. We'll be back shortly.
Today's game is fueled by Some Good, the clean, natural hydration shots trusted by athletes across Atlantic Canada. Packed with unfiltered apple cider, electrolytes, and no artificial junk, Some Good keeps you hydrated the right way, whether you're on the ice, in the gym, or cheering from the stands. It tastes unreal, it's good for you, and it supports local. Grab a Some Good and feel the difference. Hydration made simple, performance made better.
And we're back for the final stretch drive here in the third period. 9:37 remaining. Weeks control the draw. Williams fires it towards the goal. No one there for the Weeks. Frawley with a head of steam back the other way. Chips it to the middle. That pass is shut down. Green back the other way. Fraser collides with a rush player, Miller, in the middle. Loses his stick. Might have got his hand jammed a little bit there too. It looks to be okay. Cross-ice feed into the middle. Kept in at the line. Going to be a penalty on the play. This one's going to be 4-minute head contact penalty on Ethan Miller of the Rush. 9:02 left in the third period. Down 8-2, it's a tough task for the Rush to have to kill off a 4-minute double minor penalty here, but they're going to see what they can do. Williams with it off the draw for the Weeks. Cross-ice feed there to Fraser, back to Williams. Williams shot, rebound in the crease. Dug out there and fired down the ice by McPhee. Off the stick of Williams, but it'll find its way down the ice. Headman pass from Burcham into the middle. That's going to be an offside call on the Weeks. McLeod wins the battle for the puck and fires it down the ice for the Rush. Back forward is Burcham. As Andrea shadowing him. Plays it ahead. Fraser gains the line, but loses the puck for a moment. That's another offside call against the Weeks. Morrison plays it off the boards. Out to the neutral zone for Tanner. Tanner leaves it there for Kidd. He's got a head of steam already. Crosses the line, cuts to the middle, shot. Just over the goal. Back to the point for Tanner. Tanner back down. Good read from Morrison there to strip that pass, but can't clear it out of the zone. Tanner again at the point. Walks in. Walks around one man. Now he'll walk off the half wall looking for a lane. Back to McKenzie at the point. He'll swap places with Tanner. Pass across, blocked by Morrison. Kidd took the one-timer right into the shin pads of Morrison. Now Tanner turns the corner. Knocked off his stick by Andrea. Pass down to White, misses. That'll roll to the net. Wasn't quite covered, but Hardy does get to it in time. The first minor penalty on the double minor to Miller is just about over. 12 seconds remaining in that. And 7:14 left in the third period. Just outside the line. Weeks regroup inside their zone. Headman pass to Pugsley is good. Pugsley will gain the line. Weeks look to set things up again. Puck will dribble to an open corner. Back to the half wall is Pugsley. Pugsley now walks in, backdoor feed. The Weeks player in the slot took care of that scoring attempt as he was knocked to the ice and the puck hit him. Didn't ever get to Hardy. Pass ahead to Pugsley is good. He comes over the zone with some speed. Pass back off the skate, and that pass back to the point for McEachern is corralled by Dunn, but he just does get it out. We're into the final minute and 15 seconds of the double minor to Miller now. Pass across to Sullivan's good. Sullivan gains the line and fires it deep. It'll rim around for Frazier. Frazier leaves it there. Played into the middle. Back for McEachern. McEachern down low. Back up top for McEachern. Now to Frazier. Frazier's shot's off a body in front. Weeks with possession. Back to Frazier now. Frazier back into the middle. Backhand shot. Off the side of the goal, and Hardy going post to post may have dislodged the net again. 5:41 to go. In the third, 40 seconds remain in the power play for the Weeks. Off the draw, Bertram leaves it there. Frazier to Bertram. Bertram walks to the top, feeds it across to Frazier. Frazier walks in, plays it down low. Give and go play was a good one, but McLeod's stick was better, and he'll fire it down the ice. Played up to Swain. Swain drops it for Frazier. Frazier back to Swain. Swain holds it, tries to go short side, shut down by Hardy with the pad. Played to an open corner as the power play is ended. Miller's back on the ice, joining the play. Back to Bertram, tries to go back door, off a stick, and a big stop, off a skate rather, and a big stop by Hardy, off the deflection in front. And the Rush have seen enough of Swain going hard to the net, or it might have been, I think it was Swain actually, in an 8-2 game with under 5 minutes to go. A little bit of a pushing and shoving match in front. Off the draw, McKenzie gains possession and fires it down. Chipped by the first forechecker, but turned over to the Weeks. Kidd plays it down low for McKenzie. McKenzie, cross-ice feed, connects there with Williams. Back into the middle, low shot, gloved and smothered by Hardy. Kept in at the line, but chopped away. Sorrento comes out to play it, and he'll fire it down the ice. Morrison with it, back to McPhee. McPhee's pass into the middle, too hot to handle for Guthrow, and that'll slide the length of the ice. McKenzie back to touch up. Icing is the call. Played around the goal, off the draw. Morrison chips it to the half wall. Kept in at the line. Chipped out to center. Here's Sullivan with it. Drops it off there for Kidd. Kidd's knocked down by Lee, but keeps the puck moving forward. Played down low. McPhee chops it to Syllaboy. He can't beat his man with it. Lee comes in to help out. Just does get outside the line. Now Guthrow with it. Tries to play it into the middle. It's off a body, and the Weeks take over at center. Miller, after serving his double minor, comes back out for his first shift. Chips it off the boards. Tanner with it. That feed off a stick and just flipped out by McPhee. Down the ice. Looks like a delayed offside call. On the rush. I think both teams think it's an icing call, but it's actually a delayed offside. Williams with it off the draw. Cross ice feed finds Pugsley. Pugsley tries to gain the line, but that dumping is rejected by the rush. Played off the shin pads of Crawley into Miller. Miller tries to feed it back to him, but can't get it there. Played off the boards and down. McIntyre tried to reach out for it, but couldn't find the handle. Lost behind the goal, into the middle. Pass back to the point for McCackern. Into the middle. Shot from Bertram. Blocked in front. Rebound lying there. Shot behind the goal. Pile up along the boards. McIntyre digs the puck out, but just gets it outside the line. Shot back down on Hardy. McLean has it now. Lots of time to break it out. Stretch pass to Crawley connects. He'll dump it in and go for a change. Phillips in forechecking. McIntyre can't get much on that pass. And then 2-on-1 the other way. It's Frazier into the middle. Shot. Pad stop from Hardy. Rush struggling to finish this game. 2 minutes left. Bass Christmas back the other way. Has it chopped off his stick by Bertram. Pass for Phillips misses. McCackern will pick it up. McCackern over the line. Chance for Sim. Bobbles it. Can't find the lane. Puts a shot on goal off the arm of Hardy. Played ahead for Andrea now. He'll walk around his man with speed, but bobbles it at the last moment. Can't center the puck. Sim has possession behind his goal. Reverses play for McKenzie. McKenzie cross for Sim. Sim hits a stick with that pass and ends up on Deacon McPhee's stick. Sim strips Laporte. In comes Sim. Fans on the pull and drag. Back behind the net is McLeod. He sees some room to go as we enter the final minute of the period. McLeod tries to get a shot on. Pad stop by Sorrento. Another shot blocked in front. And another whistle. Looks like a penalty is being called. Only 50 seconds left in the game, but Nick McKenzie will sit. Didn't quite see what the penalty was for. Probably a hooking call on McLeod, I'd imagine. Rush back to the power play for the final 50 seconds of the game. Played back to the point, into the middle for McLeod. Onto the half wall for Dunn. Dunn rips one on goal. Chopped just wide of the net. Now Frazier trying to take on the whole Rush team. Goes through two players. Can't get around the third. Gideon takes control now. Plays it ahead, but out of the reach of Lewis. That'll be sent back down. Into the final 10 seconds now. McLeod with it behind his goal. They'll leave it there for Dunn. Dunn will just drop it back. And they're content to let the clock run out. That'll do it for this one. Final score 8-2 in favor of the Weeks. Final shots on goal 61-12, also in favor of the Weeks. Thanks for tuning in. Everyone have a great Sunday. My name is Jeff McIntyre for High Button Sports. We'll talk soon.